Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diabetic Toolbox, where we are on a mission to end type 2 diabetes one family at a time through education, support, and empowerment. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Renee, and I'm so glad you found me. I am an emotional eating and diabetes lifestyle coach and a yoga teacher, and I help folks over 40 diagnosed with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes to lower their blood sugar, lose weight, and increase their mobility without starving themselves or spending hours a day in the gym. Today, we are kicking off a brand new 3-part series called Beyond Blood Sugar, Diabetes, and Cognitive Health. And today's episode is called What Diabetes Does to the Brain That Nobody Talks About. Let's get into it. You know, when you're diagnosed with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, someone probably talked to you about your A1C, your weight, maybe even your circulation, or the effects that diabetes can have on your heart. What your primary care team probably did not mention was the effect that diabetes can have on your brain. And that gap in the conversation, in my humble opinion, is costing folks their mental sharpness, their memory, and their quality of life. Most people think diabetes only affects the pancreas or the heart, or their circulation, but one of the biggest impacts may be happening right inside your brain. Brain fog, fatigue, trouble remembering words mid-sentence, that afternoon crash when you cannot think your way through a simple task. Those could be signs that you're just getting older, but they could also be signs that your blood sugar is doing something to your brain and that it requires your full attention. So here's what's happening. Your brain runs on glucose. It is the most glucose-dependent organ in your entire body. It uses about 20% of your body's total energy. But it does not just need glucose, it needs balanced glucose. When your blood sugar spikes after a meal, your brain gets flooded, and you may feel that temporary burst of energy and then the dreaded crash. And you crash hard. When your blood sugar drops, your brain goes into an emergency mode, and that could bring on anxiety, irritability, inability to focus, and sometimes folks have reported even getting shaky hands. When that cycle repeats day after day, the damage to your focus, your mood, your mental clarity begins to add up. So you're not imagining it. Your brain is telling you that something is wrong. Now here's where it gets even more important, because insulin resistance, the hallmark of type 2 diabetes, does not stay in your muscles and your liver. It also develops in your brain. Your brain has its own insulin receptors, and when those receptors stop working the way they should, it affects how your brain forms memories and processes information. Some researchers, and they are still researching it, but some researchers have actually started referring to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes, specifically describing the insulin resistance in the brain as a contributing pathway to cognitive decline. Now, the research is still developing, and I always want to be careful about how I frame this, But the connection between metabolic health and Alzheimer's risk is significant enough that we cannot ignore it. A lot of people with diabetes have been told directly or indirectly that brain fog is just aging, that forgetfulness is because you're stressed out, that your mood swings are just part of the life that you live. And maybe some of that is true. But a significant portion of what gets written off as normal aging in people over 40, 50, 60, and beyond is actually being driven by blood sugar instability and inflammation. And this matters because aging is not something you can change. We are all going to age. Trust me, my birthday is next month. And I'm going to celebrate it with gusto. But your metabolic health is something that you can make changes. When you bring your blood sugar into a healthier range, you support your brain with the right movement and nutrition, and you start addressing those emotional patterns that make you reach for food when you are upset or angry or tired or irritable. Then you can calm the blood sugar chaos in your body. And that could help you to think better, have better recall, give you more stable moods as well as energy. And it doesn't have to take months to do this. This could happen in a short amount of time for most people. Your brain is responding to its environment. So if you change the environment, your brain will respond. So here's your one thing for today. After your next meal, I want you to check in with yourself about 2 hours later. Not just physically, not just checking your blood sugar, but also check in mentally. Are you sharp, foggy, irritable, tired, anxious? Start making that connection between what you ate, when you ate, and how your brain showed up afterwards. That awareness alone is the beginning of your brain health, taking your brain health seriously. So tomorrow we're going to go a little deeper into the everyday signs that your blood sugar may already be affecting your mental performance and exactly what you can do about it. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's episode. As always, I want to remind you that this information is just that, information. You want to make sure that you are connected to a really great medical team that is able to help you with every area of your health as you start to manage your diabetes or prediabetes. This is important because they can tell you or connect you with the best treatment for you, not, the masses. And I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to shrink back, but I want you to use this as information that will make you more aware of how to proceed and how to create your wellness plan, because that is what counts, how you proceed and how you create a wellness plan that works for you, one that you can stick with on a consistent basis. Before I let you go, I have 2 resources I want to share with you because I created the Diabetic Toolbox because I believe that you deserve tools, not just information. So I have 2 gifts. The first one is my free weight training guide designed specifically for folks with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. You can grab it in the show notes. And secondly, I want to invite you to my emotional eating and blood sugar reset program. For $98, I will walk you through meal planning, movement, the emotional triggers behind your eating, and provide you with community and email support along the way. If you've been waiting for a sign that it's time to take care of yourself, this is it. Both links are in the show notes, and everything you need is just one click away. All right, my friend, that is all I have for you today. I will talk to you tomorrow. Please share this episode with someone you love. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye for now.